Hello and welcome to today's Facebook LinkedIn Live. I'm delighted because today I'm going to be chatting with Joanna Lott, who is a business coach for other coaches. And she's going to be telling us all about the 5 levels of market maturity and how our knowledge and understanding of those can help us accelerate our business growth. And as a small business owner, I am fascinated. I'm so excited for this session. I've never heard of 5 levels of market maturity. So I'm very, very excited to learn more about this, Joanna. And I know you've got some slides. Before we jump into it, I don't know if you want to give people a little bit of an overview as to who you are and who you help.
Yeah, I'm Jo. I help coaches create an amazing business and get clients. So yeah, that's a bit about me.
Brilliant. I've never heard of the 5 levels of market maturity.
Yeah, I think I heard it again recently, and I thought actually it's such a good thing because marketing has changed so much over the last few years.
Yeah.
That this will really help you to see what sort of things we need to be doing in our marketing to really stand out in what is becoming a competitive market. Like lots of people are launching their own businesses. And so we need to kind of up our game, I think.
Absolutely. I bet it must be applicable. I suppose I know you help coaches, but I bet it's applicable to lots of different businesses as well.
Oh yeah, it's applicable to any business at all, and I will give loads of examples.
Any size, or is it more
any size? I'll be talking about car manufacturers, Hoover manufacturers, like any business will have these levels of market sophistication. So yeah, it's applicable.
I'm so excited. And you know what, it's like you have to evolve, don't you? Because I mean, I'm trying to think of examples, but I guess like Hoover, because you mentioned they used to be so popular, and then it's Dyson, and then and then it was like, I'm looking at my phone now, it was the Nokia, and now it's the iPhone. So I guess if you don't adapt, then that's your business kaput. So.
Yeah, the iPhone is a great one. Yeah, I can't wait to use that as an example, actually, as we discuss these kind of 5 levels and you can kind of pinpoint where your business might be amongst all of these levels.
Brilliant. All right, perfect. We'll get started then. I'm going to take notes.
Yeah, exactly. So hopefully you can see this image on the screen, which is kind of showing the 5 levels. And I will talk through each of these in detail, but just as a kind of quick overview, first, it's like, hello market, you're the first to this, you're the first to launch your product or service. Second level is, what is this? And again, I will talk about all these in more detail. How does it work is the 3rd level. Fierce competition is the 4th level, and new experiences is the kind of ultimate level. So let's start with hello market. So this is where you are the first to introduce your type of service and show how your service can capture the needs of the market. It's new, it's different, it's exciting. So like we talked about with Hoover, when they came out with a Hoover, it's like everyone was buying it. Like, we need a Hoover. This is amazing. They didn't have to have the booster shot. It didn't need to be cordless. Everyone was just grateful they had the Hoover, and there was no other person offering it. So it didn't need to be that fancy. They could get away with, limited marketing. Didn't have to be that brilliant because there was no other option.
It's quite hard to be this one though, isn't it? Because I think a lot of businesses, this one felt like Ask Jeeves. Remember Ask Jeeves?
Yeah, I do.
Google.
Exactly. It is hard. And I don't think there's probably many people that fall into this category anymore. Like you say, maybe, I don't know, people on Dragon's Den coming up with this one new thing, but it's really hard to be the first in your market anymore because
and persuade people that actually they need that product or service.
Exactly. So that's why we'll move to kind of the next level, which is, your marketing and your product is going to need to be a little bit better because there's going to be more competition. So this is when people are going, what is this thing? They're starting to hear about your product or service. So like your recruitment agency, for example, the competition's warming up. Other people are offering the same service. And this is when niching, for example, comes in. So you want to make your service more targeted, better, stronger. So, people think, oh, okay, so you work with this type of person, we'll go with you over somebody else.
Yeah. A lot of people probably, though, because I remember feeling like this, and I'm sure loads of people, there's already people doing what I do. The competition looks quite hot before I even went into the water,
It does. Exactly. Yeah. And that's why like niching helps, like for my target market, for example, or people I work with, you know, being, say, a career coach 5 years ago was probably enough. Whereas now you'd want to be a career coach helping people in their 20s to completely reinvent their career or change career or get a promotion. It needs to be really specific versus I'm a career coach, I can help you with your career, to really be able to stand out, because there are more people offering a similar service.
Yeah. Okay, I get that. Yeah.
Okay, so that is level 2. What is this?
Yeah.
And so most of us are beyond that as well. So this is level 3. How does it work? So again, more increase in competition. The goal now is to highlight your unique, highly targeted mechanism to solve problems. So that would be, you know, tell us about your service, Liz. This will be a perfect example. Like, why is your service different to another person's?
Oh gosh, put me on the spot now. Well, I always think ours is a bit of a hybrid, so it's not really. I always think it positions itself between a job board and a recruitment agency, because my background is recruitment, and I love that matching of people to jobs, which is, you know, quite manual, but actually what a recruitment agency would do. And I always think it benefits candidates because they don't miss out on jobs, and then employers because they're more likely to receive relevant, engaged applications. So that's what I think was mine. That's a little bit different. Obviously, I've got, you know, a strong recruitment background.
Yes, exactly. That's it. So it's at this point you want to be able to say, my process is really good because of this. So for my target market, that would be, you know, I have a 4-step process to get you into a job that you love. And here's my particular 4 steps. This is why I think my way is, you know, a really good way of solving this problem. So again, you're trying to, if you're thinking about the Dyson or something, they are now saying, yeah, we're cordless. This is why we're brilliant. So they're finding their own unique way of being brilliant.
Do you need to be unique?
Yeah, I think so, to be honest, because like otherwise you're just going to be.
I can understand it maybe service, like, you know, when it's obviously so, particularly with coaching, it's so personality driven, isn't it? And actually it's about finding that person you gel with. But I mean, I don't own a Google, you know, the Android phone, but looking at an Android and an iPhone, they look pretty similar to me.
Yeah, but so which one do you have?
I have an iPhone, but that's because I can't be bothered to transfer all my stuff across. But yeah, I'm wondering, like with product-based businesses, some of them, I don't know really. Some of them are, I mean, mascaras, I guess it's not really, but you know, you like an eyelash curler is an eyelash curler or whatever. I can really understand it might be easier to do the unique stuff with if it's you, but the product, I don't know.
Yeah, I still think so. Like, you'll notice every single washing powder has got a new little logo on it, or, you know, 5 in 1. It's like everything has to be new. Otherwise, no one wants it, sadly. Like, we all crave this new, you know, new special formula. Like, even if it's a product, we want the eyelash curler to, you know, curl at 90%, not at, you know, 70%. Or, you know, it's still super relevant, I think, no matter what business you have. Like, yeah, you need to keep refreshing, keep bringing out new things to be able to continue to sell your thing.
So you really do need to consistently innovate, whatever sort of business you're doing.
Totally.
Interesting. Yeah, because you talked to me about phones before we came on, and about how we used to have a Nokia and remember BlackBerry?
Yeah, I do remember BlackBerry. Yeah,
maybe they didn't, you know, innovate. I don't know. They were obviously eclipsed.
Yeah. But it's like Blockbuster Video, isn't it? Like, they didn't move because they dominated the market, you know, when we were young, and now, sadly, they just didn't move quick enough, and then that's it. They're out of business now, outdated. It's marketing needs to be all of our top priority because it changes so quickly. And yeah, you just need to be really good at it to survive in business, like, I believe.
Absolutely. I guess this is where you come in, because you help people. You know, it's very hard when you're in your business, you're doing the day-to-day, you are busy, and then and then all of a sudden you look around and your competition's gone. Because and it's like thinking like, is the benefit of working with a coach who suggests, why don't you try this?
Yeah, because you can't see it yourself. Like I work with a coach. I can't sort my own business out. I need a coach to help me to see the outside perspective of like why my service is different, because when you're in it, you just can't see it. So like you
No,
say,
you're busy, aren't you? You're doing the day to day.
yeah, exactly.
Oh,
Okay, so
brilliant.
this is level 3. Yeah, now this is level 4. So fierce competition. So this is probably where most of us are either level 4, or we'll move on to level 5 in a moment. So everything's noisy, crowded and fierce. Switch up your marketing angles, prepare to remind the market that you are the best option, highlight why your service is different to your competitors. So this is when I guess people have those league tables. I mean, it was not so relevant for our business, but you'd be wanting to say, a little tick, I give a personal service, this one generic service, or like if you're buying a website, it will be, free hosting, free this, and this service only gives this. So it's about really continuing to remind people why work with you, why you are the best option for them.
Yeah, it's difficult. It's good, isn't it? But I guess this is where everything is, it's hugely competitive. I mean, maybe we see that being on LinkedIn a lot, but yeah, it's really good reminder to remind people why you're the best. What other marketing tips would you give to somebody then that's like, I mean, how do people market themselves then in such a noisy environment?
Well, I think the next one is really exciting for this. So I'll move on to like level 5. So this is when the market is full, pretty much. It's time to create new experiences, give emotions, meaning, focus on why, focus on your clients, their beliefs. It's time to go deep and focus on your brand, not just your service. So this is something you do super well, because you're always sharing your family photos and showing why this is important to you. And then people want to support you, so they buy into your business. So this is kind of what it's about now, is like your brand, why this is so important to you, your experience, why you're doing what you're doing now, which is what you do super, super well.
Yeah. Okay. So it's like creating, like, I guess, the personal brand. Is this something that sort of ties into that?
Totally. And it's also about helping people to feel something. So if you're thinking about a car advertising their car on TV, no one's saying, here's the brakes, here's the lights, here's the steering wheel. They're showing the family having an amazing family time driving by the sea, and what it feels like to own that type of car. Like, I'm a Jaguar type of person, or I'm a Porsche type of person, or I'm a so they're focusing on the beliefs of that person and what it feels like to own that type of car versus the product itself. And that's basically where most of us are at now. It's not so much just about, you get three one-to-one sessions, and you get like, we need to create an experience and a transformation.
So if everyone's creating that experience and transformation, how are you then? You've niched. Obviously, there's probably still people in your niche. You're sharing that it's going to be an experience. How do you still get people then to buy into you, as opposed to the coach down the street that's doing the same thing?
It's all in the nuances. Like you say, it's tiny things, and that's why people pay, some businesses pay thousands for marketing campaigns, because it's like one tiny strapline, like it did for Nike, for example, just do it, like that transformed their entire business. So it's just about just being really innovative, really tuning in. There's not a straight thing. Obviously, niching is really important, then creating your unique mechanism to get people from A to B, and then creating your brand, like why this matters. And I think you'll be surprised to see how few people really go into that enough to really help people to feel what it feels like to work with you. So because it does.
Do you help people then create that message, those messaging?
Yes, exactly. So that's what we do, try and help every person I work with, really tune into why they are unique. And I constantly point it out to them because, as we talked about a minute ago, you can't always see it yourself. And I'm just like, you're brilliant at this, and you're brilliant at this. And then they start to gain that awareness and start to be able to bring that into their messaging. Why them? And a lot of the work I do is about boosting up the person to help them see why they are brilliant, for example. So I always start my program with a full life reflection, literally reflecting on age 0 to 5 and 5 to 10, 10 to 15, because it's like everything in your life can help you bring something different to your client base. So yeah,
and you're pulling out those stories then that they're going to use in that marketing to resonate.
Exactly, that's it.
That's interesting, isn't it? So it's like a real deep dive, and that does ensure that their marketing's then personal.
Exactly, that's it, and stands out in the marketplace. Yeah, I'll stop sharing for a moment so I can see you, because it feels...
That's all right. So to remind people then how you help them, then who you help and how you help.
Yeah, so I help coaches to build their business and get clients, basically, because there's a massive gap, I think, from becoming a qualified coach. And then people think, great, I can get clients now. And then sadly, you have to learn all of this stuff about marketing, which is an entire another program in itself. And I think sadly, most people don't realize that when they start their business. You just think, oh, I'm just going to do this. And how was it for you, Liz? Did you have any idea what you were getting yourself into?
Absolutely not. But then again, maybe that was a good thing, because I think you'd probably think twice if you knew. If you knew, you would think, oh God, it sounds too hard. Yeah, so maybe that naivety is good when you first start, but definitely. But I've loved it. I really enjoyed. I've actually found a love for marketing I never knew I had.
Amazing.
It's my favorite part of business is marketing.
Wow. Tell me more. What does that mean?
I just love it. I love creating like the messaging. I love the writing, and I never really particularly liked it at school, but I really like that sales. I feel like I like understanding who my ideal client is and writing for them.
Wow, that's amazing, because that's really hard, and most people really struggle with that because they can't envisage their ideal client.
Yeah, it's probably easier because in a way my ideal client was me 3 years ago.
Exactly. Most of our ideal clients is my ideal client was me 3 years ago too. So
yeah, so then I just you just sort of tap into that. But yeah, that's what I like. I like writing, and I never really thought I liked writing until I started this.
To start doing it.
Yeah, and then that's my happy place. I feel like, oh my gosh, I can be typing all day. Yeah. What about you? What do you like most about your business?
Yeah, I like my podcast, actually. That's a new bit of marketing for me, and I really enjoy it, actually. And I put it off for a long time, thinking, oh my gosh, I'm going to commit to all of this time that it's going to take. But I just love sneaking off and recording my podcast. And it's a great thing to be able to get one marketing channel like that, and now I create it into a blog and then use that to create into social media posts. So I finally got to the point where you can create one core piece of content and repurpose, which I think up until now I've just been doing everything from scratch and constantly reinventing the wheel, whereas I just love this system that I finally got for my marketing, which is helping everything get easier. How about you then? It's the writing for you.
I like the writing, yeah. I was going to say, actually, because that led me on to, so obviously there was a new app that was launched last week, Threads. And I guess there's a lot of people here that we talked about, you have to be innovative with your marketing. You've mentioned your podcast, it's obviously TikTok. There's a lot of shiny object syndrome and a lot of pressure to feel you need to be everywhere. You need to be a YouTuber, podcaster, on every single social media app going. Do you think you need to be that?
No, definitely not. Like, you will never succeed if you are trying to do all of the things. You will just get frozen into panic of like, there's so much to do. So I would just go like all in on one or two core platforms and make that your own, like you've done with LinkedIn. It's not just about posting, it's about building the relationships with other people on there, which you just can't really do if you're trying to do all the things. You're going to do nothing very well. So but it is about leaning into your strengths as well, like you say. And I've got clients that one client in particular is amazing at TikTok. You probably know her, Kate Hill. Have you seen her? She does funny manager sketches.
I think you mentioned she's like really ramped up her account and done really well.
She has, exactly. And Tracy, another person I've worked with, she does loads of public speaking for organizations. So it's about like thinking about what you enjoy and want to go all in on, and that's exactly what they've done.
Does it need to be social? Do you think you need to be on social media?
Difficult one, isn't it? You don't need to be, but I think these days people probably expect to at least be able to look you up and see who you are. You know, so I would probably say yes, you probably do need to have a presence. It doesn't need to be your sole marketing channel. You don't need to be posting every day. If you're, for example, so I have had another client who's gone all in on networking, and so she hasn't really done the social media thing. We've got an updated LinkedIn profile for her and things like that. So when people do want to look her up, they can see she exists and she's a normal person. But she doesn't post all the time. She goes to her network BNI, I think she does like each week, and it's worked really well for her. So you don't have to spend all the time on social media, but you might want to have a presence, I think.
I think so. I mean, I was researching for someone to join my team actually, and just basically went on LinkedIn, typed in the job title that I thought. Obviously, the people that just got the most optimized profile came up. So it wasn't necessarily actually they weren't posting; they would just had a profile. So I guess that is the bare minimum, isn't it? That profile.
Yeah, oh, that's good. That's interesting to hear, actually, just someone's experience of actually searching that. Although I do think
search, not many people came up, so so it shows you need a good profile.
If you post, you do come higher up, because when I was doing career coaching a few years ago, people used to say, "Oh, I searched on LinkedIn and you were the top one that came up," and I do think it gives you points. So if you do post consistently, which I did, then you do come further up, the page.
You'd think LinkedIn would hopefully reward the people who are on the platform, and
exactly. I think they must do. But like you say, if it's not so competitive, so that's an example of maybe for their market, they don't need to be doing social media or anything too fancy, because there's not many of them around for whatever you might be searching for, perhaps.
Yeah. Interesting, I guess, but interesting. And I suppose if somebody, was then, if not in a competitive market, this could be really where they mopped up then is to build that presence. So.
Exactly, that's it. If you're in early, you've done super, super well. Or keep innovating. Like I've got quite a few books, I'm trying to think of the titles now, on innovation and how to think creatively and how you can look at, say, a different industry altogether and try and pull what they've done into what you've done. So like literally, like we could look at Apple and think, how have they done this? And how they've done it is they've created very few products. I think now there's obviously a few more, but it just went from the iPod to the iPhone, then to the iPad. They stripped everything back. It wasn't like they had, like Dixon's or something, like everything under the sun. They had their few core products and made them.
Still got less than 10, really.
Yeah, exactly. They have. And that's a really good lesson, I think, for all of us, especially the people that come and work with me. They want to have so many offers. I'm going to do retreats and I'm going to do organizations. And you just think, literally, you can't. If a company like Apple, who has all of this money and all of these employees, cannot service, all these offers, then we definitely can't as solopreneurs, pretty much.
Yeah, absolutely. Before you go, what would be your film recommendation to somebody, a good marketing fit, get you all inspired?
A film on marketing. Oh my gosh.
I really feel that. Do you know what it was? It's when you were talking about the iPhone. I just wondered if you'd seen that Air.
Oh right, no, I haven't. Oh gosh, no. Films on marketing. Sorry, Liz, I've drawn a blank.
Sorry, I've really put you on the spot there. Sorry about that.
I know. Yeah, I haven't really. I just can't think from that angle.
Watch Air. It's called Air.
Oh, is it? I will watch it. That's brilliant.
I think it's because you mentioned Nike, and it's about Nike's marketing in the 80s.
Is it? Oh, brilliant. Yeah. I will. do that. And yeah, books and things. I think I'm more into books than movies.
Any books then? Any books that we
there's a book called Influence, which talks about there's 7 steps of influence. Things like, you know, give a deadline, say there's only limited spots, show social proof. You know, there's certain things that people generally look to be able to make a decision on working with you.
Yeah, brilliant. Well, fabulous. Thank you so much. We'll put the links in the show notes, and just remind people again how they can work with you and what sort of packages you offer.
Yes, exactly. So I've got a program called the Business of Coaching, which is a 6-month mentorship program to help other coaches to set up and build and grow a successful, sustainable coaching business. So yeah, if that's what you want, do come check out my website. You'll see all the details, pricing, dates, times, everything you need to know, and contact me if you've got any questions.
Brilliant. Well, thank you so much, Joanna, for joining us today. Thank you for everyone that's watched live and on the replay.
Thank you, Liz.
Thank you.